You see, I didn't have that feeling at all. A good article, no matter where it is published, will eventually finds its usefulness with people. And even a bad article, if they mistakenly publish it in Cell, will not fly. Cell is one of the leading journals of the New England Journal of Medicine. So I didn't have that. And of course, because of the push I had in me, that very strong drive that I want to attain or acquire academic qualifications, and I've been encouraging my residents to do, I felt it was a great opportunity for me to put into action what I've been preaching, and for people who were not sensitized to it to be sensitized, because some people will have done a number of things, but because they don't have advisors, they don't have mentors that will guide them, that this was. So I felt that was an opportunity to me to address the body of residents in UCH. So I did not feel that. And of course, just to let you know, I've never been short of articles or publication for my promotion. In fact, when I became reader associate professor, the same year I was pronounced as a reader, was the same year I applied for my professorship, because I already had papers. I was fortunate that I was able to collaborate with so many people in different disciplines within Nigeria and outside Nigeria. So I was never sure. So I wasn't thinking I would make so much publicity from that article. But the main purpose was to enlighten residents that you can do these things. You can do this thing, and for them to be well guided or mentored. So that was my intention.
Asking people to apply for PhD in surgery, PhD in ONG, PhD in pediatrics. As a chief executive officer, what would you advise a contemporary resident doctor in this era to do in that regard?
Yeah. Thank you for that question. It's a very, very germane question, especially for those of us who do fellowships. And fellowships are professional qualifications. They are not academic qualifications. And of course, if you want to be an academician, you should have academic qualifications, unless you go for some certain training, like education. You have what is called PGD, postgraduate diploma in education. If you want to educate people, there are techniques of teaching. There are things that are peculiar to academia that are not peculiar to fellowship. And that was why with my fellowship I did a diploma in immunology, University of Ibadan. I did masters, I did PhD, because I just felt, without being mentored, without being told, I'm in the academic community and I want to be a notable academician. So I believe I should have academic qualifications. Also, when I came on board as a lecturer one in 1998, one of the things I did was to study the works of our ancestors in the department and outside of medicine department. Those are considered great. I looked at their trajectory up to where they were. To let you know, I used to go to the library just to study them. And some of those I looked at were Professor Shutoku, Professor Akikugbe. I looked at their works, I read some of them, their qualifications, Professor Onodeko. I also read some about Professor, then Dr. Shokubi, Mr., the neurosurgeon, because there are some of my teachers I admired, even to a fault. Because the reason I said to a fault is that when we were students, some of our lecturers used to smoke pipe. I bought pipe to smoke just to copy them because I wanted to be like them. So, and I discovered that apart from Professor Shokubi then, all those I mentioned in medicine had PhD or MD or both. Professor Akugbe had it, Professor Onodeko had it, Professor Shutoku had it. And I wanted to be great. I decided to emulate them. So that's why I went into all that. So NUC is not wrong in insisting that we have. I know some of my colleagues may want to pluck my eye for saying this, but that's my belief. And things have been even made easier now. I was part of the committee that NUC selected in 2021 to come up with a package for academic qualifications in medicine that will go pari passu with either residency or fellowship. So today, that policy document is out. I think it came out last year, but well circulated this year. In it, you can have MBBS, PhD packaged together. So you can graduate with your MBBS and PhD at the same time. Now, you can also have your fellowship and even exempted from masters. If you have part 1, for instance, you can have your PhD. And as I speak with you, some universities have started, and you mentioned too. In Calabar now, I'm supervising a PhD student who is a fellow of West African College of Physicians in my specialty gastroenterology, because they didn't have physicians that have PhD in their university, and Dr. Oga is also supervising some PhD students. So it's been made easier at this point in time. And of course, NUC did not make it compulsory for everybody. It's only for those who want to be in academics. You want to work at a co-hospital or Reddington and all that, and just continue to make money and not add to knowledge. It's permitted. You are not forced. So it is those among the physicians who want to teach, who want to research, who want to be known as academicians that are being asked to have it. I know all the hulabaloo and what we call the debacle there that has been happening. But that thing has come to stay. It will not change. No amount of noise making will change it. So the earlier your generation subscribe to that, even if you are going to travel out, there are a lot of things that marks you out. Now if you have, it marks you out if you are applying, because as a CEO and employer, there are times they bring recommendations for 3 people for me to select one. All of you have fellowship. So what else do I need to? And there's only one slot, and there are 3 people, all have fellowship. And I see this person that has a MSc or PhD. What do you think I would do? I'll pick the one with postgrad, because he has gone an extra mile to develop himself, or a step higher. Let me tell you, when I was on sabbatical in Babcock in 2015, the Minister of Health and Sanitation in Sierra Leone just called me that they have a World Bank sponsored project for improvement in their health sector. And he wanted me to help them draw a template on how to advance their healthcare system. I thought it was a scam. I was just saying, okay. Well, fast forward, it ended up not being a scam. And I developed a blueprint for them on how to improve their health sector. I traveled around their country during Ebola. Many people were afraid. Even my wife was afraid when I was going. I said, this thing is about prevention. There are people living there. Not all of them are dead. So I went. I did the blueprint. And one of the things I recommended that they should have their own teaching hospital and bond residents who will stay. So they advertised for the post of CMD. I didn't apply because I felt I was okay here. But the personal assistant to the minister kept on calling me that, Prof, please apply. In fact, when it remains 3 days, she called me and said, Prof, we are begging you, apply. So I did at the last minute. When they fixed the first interview, I just bluffed them off. I said, I won't be able to attend as I'll be going somewhere. So they fixed the second one. And that was when I went for my class 30th anniversary in London. So I told them that day I will be returning from the UK to Nigeria by KLM. One of them just said, KLM will stop over in Amsterdam. I said, yes. They said, they want to fix the interview for that day. That during my stopover in Amsterdam, they said they can't gather the panelists because it consists of World Bank members, their own ministry. I did the interview. At that time, WhatsApp and all these things were not common. I think it was Skype. Fast forward, they gave me the employment. When I became CMD, all the files of the contestants for the post of CMD, there were 6. 4 from Sierra Leone, at least 4 from Sierra Leone, 1 from Louth, 1 and myself. The one from Louth was Professor Emuvenya, a very, very senior gynecologist and former editor of Nigerian Journal of Clinical Services. I knew. So I was now reading the assessment. You know what gave me an edge over all the rest, including the indigens? My PhD. That's outside Nigeria. So all these things, I think how I got there is, even if you think you are traveling out, it also gives you an edge. Don't think, oh, I'm not staying in Nigeria. Academia is the same all over the world. So I hope I've answered that question.
Yes.